evening and welcome to this edition of Newsleader on 6. Today is Tuesday, November 24th, 2015. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Andrew Todd. In tonight's news, an investigation by TBI agents and the Shelbyville Police Department has led to an arrest in the shooting death of a Shelbyville woman. Manchester police arrest 2 murder suspects from Georgia. We'll bring you video from the Tullahoma Christmas tree lighting ceremony, and we'll give you some tips on preparing those holiday meals in a safe manner. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's Newsleader on 6.
Let the Smokehouse be your mountain getaway destination in beautiful Monteagle, Tennessee. Enjoy our cabins, restaurant, and old general store. Shop thesmokehouse.com featuring homemade barbecue sauces, jellies, and many other fine Tennessee products. Our live Music on the Mountain series features some of the best local and Nashville talent every Friday and Saturday night, 6:30 p.m. No cover, kids welcome.
Welcome back. An investigation by special agents with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation and the Shelbyville Police Department has resulted in a Shelbyville man being arrested and charged in the shooting death of a Bedford County woman. At the request of 17th District Attorney General Rob Carter, TBI special agents working alongside detectives with the Shelbyville Police Department began investigating the September 14th homicide of 45-year-old Angela Kibble. The victim was found deceased in her residence by a neighbor at 800 Belmont Avenue in Shelbyville. During the course of the investigation, agents developed information that Angela Kibble's cousin, Kavaris Kelso, was one of the individuals responsible for her shooting death. Kelso was arrested by TBI special agents last Thursday morning and charged with 1 count of criminal homicide. He was booked into the Bedford County Jail where he's being held without bond.
WSMV Television in Nashville is reporting Manchester police arrested 2 fugitives Saturday night who were wanted in Georgia for murder and robbery. The charges were related to an incident at a Covington, Georgia Walmart, which was captured on surveillance video. The pair attempted to grab the purse of a 65-year-old woman. During the struggle for the purse, the victim fell to the ground, and video shows the suspect getting into the woman's car and driving over her several times, killing her. The suspect were identified as Brandon Shaw Smith, age 27, from Virginia, and Stephanie Rodriguez from New Mexico. Authorities say Smith and Rodriguez were spotted in Chattanooga on Friday, the day before they were arrested in Manchester.
Officials of the Tullahoma Pride Foundation gathered Saturday afternoon for the lighting ceremony of the city Christmas tree.
The Tullahoma Community Pride Foundation has been doing this every year and trying to get a new city tradition to get everybody to turn out, all the kids to come watch the tree being lit. And it feels like winter right now, and I understand it may be snow flurries tonight too, so hopefully we'll get out of here before that. I'm going to ask the mayor to say a few words and just wish us well for the holiday season.
Thank you, Patricia, very much. It's my pleasure to be here and join with all of the noise and all of them standing. Wishing all of you a very happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, and a Merry New Year as well. But I appreciate so very much the Community Pride Foundation and commend you and all of you for congratulate you on getting this tradition going. So it's something that I look forward to every year, and hopefully it's
Thank you very much. We try to keep this nice and short, and especially since it's windy and cold out tonight. So I am going to ask one of the original members of what was Tullahoma Pride Committee to do the honors of plugging in the tree, and that is Alderman Mike Stanton, who says he can get under the tree to do it. We'll see. He may need help getting up. And we thank the Tullahoma Parks and Recreation Department for getting the lights and decorations up on the tree early this year. I thought it would be toward the end of this week that they would get them up, but I came by on Monday and it's already done, so they were right on, Johnny on the spot with it. So we do appreciate their help with it, both in selecting the tree, planning it, maintaining it, and decorating.
More Newsleader on 6 right after these messages.
Trucks, trucks, and more trucks. Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma and Winchester is your home for both new and pre-owned trucks. We have a huge selection of over 200 trucks to choose from. Check us out on the web at russellbarnett.com and view our great selection. We are your truck headquarters, and we want to be your one-stop shop. That's Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma and Winchester, your truck headquarters. Trucks, trucks, and more trucks. Why buy anywhere else?
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation!
It's gotta be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Welcome back. The American Cancer Society has a new director for the area. Newsleader's John Gray spoke recently with Samantha Shamley about her new position.
I'm proud to have with me today Miss Samantha Shamley, and you are with the American Cancer Society?
I am.
And you're sort of new to that in our area?
I am. This will be going on my 3rd year to work with the Relay for Life volunteers here in this area.
Okay.
So the past 2 years I've been around.
Okay. Well, where are you from originally?
I am actually from Shelbyville.
Okay.
So just right next door, Bedford County.
Right down the street.
I started volunteering there with Relay for Life back in 2006 after I lost my mom to cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been in the world of Relay for Life for many years.
Okay. And so Shelbyville, what tell us about the area that what you do covers, as far as you're not just Bedford County, obviously you're
Correct.
Coffee County.
Yes, I cover Bedford County, Coffee County, which is 2 events. There's Tullahoma and then the Manchester event, and Moore County and Lincoln County. So I cover 5 different events.
So you have 5 different events.
Yes.
And when is that going to take place?
Well, the actual event itself is in the spring. All of those events are in the spring. The one here in Tullahoma is May 27th at Tullahoma High School. Hopefully football field. We won't get rained out this year. We're keeping our fingers crossed. We won't have to move into the gym.
Where do you office?
I office out of my house.
Okay.
Because I'm actually stationed out of the Chattanooga office, so it's too far for me to drive back and forth.
Right.
So I have a home office, but then I'm normally out in the communities, 3-4 days a week. So that's just kind of there for my computer
okay.
to do that little bit of office work that's needed, but otherwise I'm out in the communities working with the volunteers.
So this is a fundraising event?
It is a fundraising event, but it's not just about the fundraising. At Relay for Life events, we have the opportunity to honor the cancer survivors in those areas. We want to make them feel special, and they give others hope, and so that's what we want to do is honor them. And then we we also have a special luminaria ceremony where we remember those we've lost to cancer.
Right.
It's very touching. It's, the one ceremony out of all the events that it really lets me sit back and reflect why I started, doing Relay for Life. And
right.
kind of remember my mom in those moments and things.
So these events are in the spring.
Most of them, yes.
And so when you're out in the community 3 or 4 days a week now, what are you doing? What is your day? Are you soothing people? Are you finding people that need help?
Yes,
I'm
I'm spreading the word about what the American Cancer Society offers.
Mm-hmm.
We are a large organization, and a lot of people like to stick to something local. And so my job is to also make sure they realize that we are local. Just because our office, I may work out of the Chattanooga office or our home office is in Atlanta, we very much have programs and services for all the local people.
Okay.
So my job is to get that information out there, and one way is to spread the word. We have an 800 number. It's real easy, 1-800-ACS for American Cancer Society, 2345. And you call this number and they plug in, you get a person, not an automated system. They're there.
Hallelujah.
I know.
Isn't that wonderful?
They're there 24/7, 365 days a year, so it doesn't matter if it's a holiday or what, and they can help you. There's oncology nurses. There's just wonderful things, but especially I try to tell people who are newly diagnosed to call, because they just have awesome things that they can give you. The money we raise goes to help programs and things like this. They can tell you what programs are in the area, what services in their area.
Right.
We have wig services for women who've lost their hair, and that's a big deal to them. So we're able to give them free wigs. You don't have to qualify. There's nothing like that. If you need a wig and you're fighting cancer, we'll give you a wig. There's Look Good, Feel Better programs to help them feel how to take care of their nails, their skin, because when you're going through these treatments, it does a number to your body. Plus, we have a Hope Lodge in Nashville. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes, I have.
Okay, wonderful. That is good to know. We actually have, in the past, from just January to June, 137 nights at the Hope Lodge has been used by Coffee County residents. And that cost, $100 plus to be able to stay at something like that.
Right.
We're able to do that for patients free, and they get to have a caregiver with them. And so it's just a wonderful facility when you're having to travel to Nashville, and a lot of people do for those treatments to those hospitals. You have a place to stay free of charge, and that's a burden off your shoulders, that you don't have to worry about.
Can somebody get in touch with you if they want to either write you a check or volunteer?
I always take checks. Cash, credit cards, it doesn't matter. The best way to get me is probably my cell phone, which is 703-7267, area code 931, or my email, yes, it's at the bottom of the screen, is samantha.chambley@cancer.org.
Very good. Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
Keep the good work up.
Thank
Come
you.
back and see us again, will
yes,
you?
absolutely.
Stay with us. We'll be right back after these messages.
All I have to do to think about what I was physically before and what I am now, and I don't ever want to go back to that original situation.
The overall mission of the rehab team is always what is best for the patient and how we can facilitate maximum potential from every resident.
Well, the most important thing to me is that I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do,
Everyday miracles at Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Welcome back. Jim spoke recently with Tullahoma Police Chief Paul Blackwell to learn more about police communications procedures in the city.
We have a physical location for the police department, which is on Grundy Street, and we have our basic phone number, and we get a lot of people that will call the police department to report something, and we have to ask them to please call the 455-3411, which is our non-emergency dispatch number.
Right.
We don't dispatch out of the police department.
Right.
Coffee County has a consolidated communication center that's located out on Highway 55 near the old driver's license station. They do the dispatching for all the police, all the fire, all the rescue squad, everybody. So that's why we call it
for the whole
county.
Right.
That's why we call it consolidated. So when we ask you to call that 3411, you're calling the communication center, and that number is the Tullahoma number. So when it rings, the dispatchers know this is a Tullahoma call. When you call them and say you want to report an erratic driver, if you call the police department, we've got so much going on, the person that answers the phone is not going to be able to stay on the phone with you and say, what direction are you going, what's the description, all of this type stuff, because someone could be standing at the window needing help, or an officer needs something, or another phone's ringing. We just can't do that. So we ask you to call the other number where the dispatcher can keep you on the line and talk to the officer at the same time. So if you're following an erratic driver and you say it's a blue Ford Mustang going on 55 heading towards Tullahoma, that dispatcher can key up the microphone to the police officer, and while she or he is repeating it to you, red Ford Mustang on Highway 55 heading towards Tullahoma, they're reaffirming it with you, but at the same time they're giving that information out to the officer.
Right.
So that's why we ask you to call.
You know, you hear particularly the fire department, more so than the police department, but you hear say there's an incident somewhere at an address, and they say, I'm going to set up a command.
Yeah.
So what do they mean when they say that?
A unified command where, say, Chief Chastain, because the fire department uses it quite often.
Right.
They'll set up where the chief may be somewhere else, and the actual firefighters fighting a fire are somewhere else, so he can coordinate at a distance.
Okay.
If it's a prolonged event, then we would send a police officer to that unified location, so that officer can communicate with the fireman next to him, and then relay to the police officers, what do we need you to do?
Right.
You know, we're going to have to run the fire department may have to run a line across street X, Y, and Z. So he'll tell the officer, hey, we need an officer to go to the intersection of X, Y, and Z to block traffic. So we're sitting here talking, then if ambulance is needed, there'll be an ambulance person there, so we can all talk amongst each other of what do you need, and dispatch our people to that.
I think all your units, your vehicles that police actually patrolling are equipped with computers.
That's right.
Okay. What are they able to do with it?
They all have laptops in their car, and right now our record management system has a mobile CAD, which is computer-aided dispatch. So if we get a call at, say, Channel 6, you know, whatever your address is, 300 Wilson Avenue, the officer can go on the computer and type in 300 Wilson Avenue in reference to a disturbance. And then all the cars will see where he's going, because we've got so much going on that maybe another officer was out at, let's say, the hospital for something, where you don't get a lot of good radio communication. He gets back in the car, he can look at his computer and see, all right, Jim is at Channel 6. Paul is at so-and-so on something. We can see where everybody's at. Now that eliminates a whole lot of questions, a whole lot of radio traffic that is useless.
Right.
Like, hey, can you tell me the address again?
Right.
Or where is he at? Worst case scenario is that, say you were here working on a disturbance and all of a sudden you start yelling, I need help. I, as a chief, do not want to hear a bunch of officers saying, where's he at?
Right.
You know, I want them to be able to look at that computer and say, he is at 300 Wilson Avenue, and they can get there.
That's a great idea.
Because, you know, you get people, where's he at, or what's the description of the suspect, and they're asking that 3, 4, 5 times. It's very frustrating. So what we're trying to get to, and I think within about 8 months we'll be there, is when the dispatcher enters their information into their computer at there, it's going to get transmitted to our computer.
Right.
So we don't have to use a radio at all.
We'll be right back with more Newsleader on 6.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
If you're in the market for a new vehicle, Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac is worth the short drive for savings that can't be beat. Take home this 2015 Chevy Equinox, 0 down, just $299 a month. Or how about this 2015 Chevy Silverado Double Cab, 0 down, just $369 a month. And as always, we will match or beat any dealer's price. So come check us out or visit us online at stanmcnabb.com. But please don't forget, when it comes to the best deals, if anyone can, Stan can.
And welcome back. Thursday is Thanksgiving Day, and many of you will be spending numerous hours preparing that special holiday meal with all the seasonal favorites. Let's watch this video on making sure it's prepared in a safe and healthy manner.
A holiday meal can be challenging to prepare because there are so many foods being cooked at different times and temperatures. It's easy to forget that food safety is the most important ingredient. 4 simple steps can help ensure that harmful bacteria won't be a guest at your festivities. Clean, separate, cook, chill. Clean. Start with clean hands, cutting boards, and utensils. Dirty hands and surfaces can spread bacteria throughout the kitchen. Always wash your hands with warm water and soap for 20 seconds before and after handling food. Clean your cutting boards, knives, and countertops with hot water and soap after preparing foods. Separate. Using the same cutting board for all foods can spread bacteria. Use separate cutting boards for fresh produce and for raw meat, poultry, seafood, and eggs. Keep raw meat or poultry away from raw vegetables and other foods that won't be cooked. And don't put cooked food on platters that held raw meat or let cooked food come in contact with raw meat, poultry, or their juices, because the juices may contain harmful bacteria. Cook. Keep in mind that you can't tell it's done by how it looks. Cooking to the safe temperature kills harmful bacteria. A basic for preparing any meat, poultry, casserole, or side dish is a food thermometer. If you use a food thermometer, you will know when your food is safe and you won't overcook it or undercook it. Find a chart of safe cooking temperatures at holidayfoodsafety.org. Chill. Make sure leftovers get put in the refrigerator within 2 hours of the meal. That includes your leftover pumpkin pie. Keep your fridge at a safe 40 degrees Fahrenheit or below. And remember to use or freeze leftovers within 3 to 4 days. This holiday season, we want everyone to be food safe. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Deep frying a turkey has become increasingly popular in the last few years, and while it's a very quick and easy way to prepare that holiday bird, you need to take some precautions to ensure you do it safely.
Hi, I'm Donna Carlsons with USDA's Meat and Poultry Hotline, with an alternate route to the table for your turkey. USDA's Food Safety and Inspection Service has these tips to safely prepare a deep fat fried turkey. First, as with all food preparation, remember to clean, separate, cook, and chill. If your turkey is frozen, make sure to thaw it before frying. You can thaw it in the refrigerator. It takes about 24 hours for every 4 to 5 pounds. Keep it refrigerated until cooking. If you choose to marinate or to inject a flavor into the turkey, allow it to stand in the refrigerator for 24 to 48 hours before cooking. As you prepare the bird, separate the raw turkey from fresh foods on your menu, and use separate cutting boards, plates, and utensils to avoid cross-contamination. And always keep hands, utensils, and surfaces clean. Now we're ready to cook. Follow the manufacturer's instructions. A turkey that you plan to deep fat fry should be about 12 pounds. Do not stuff it. To determine the amount of oil needed, do a test by placing the turkey in the fryer and add enough water to cover it. The turkey should be covered by about 1 to 2 inches. Remove the turkey and measure the amount of water. That's how much oil you'll need. Select a safe, flat, outdoor location that is well lit, well ventilated, and away from trees, shrubbery, and buildings. Heat the cooking oil to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Slowly and carefully lower the turkey into the hot oil. Monitor the temperature of the oil with a thermometer constantly during cooking. Never leave the hot oil unattended. Allow about 3 to 5 minutes per pound cooking time. Check the temperature of the turkey with a food thermometer. The turkey is safely cooked when the food thermometer reaches a minimum internal temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit in the innermost part of the thigh and wing and the thickest part of the breast. Let it rest about 20 minutes before carving. After serving, refrigerate the leftovers within 2 hours in shallow containers. Refrigerate and use the turkey leftovers for 3 to 4 days or freeze for 3 to 4 months. For more information, visit fsis.usda.gov or call the USDA's Meat and Poultry Hotline at 1-888-MP-HOTLINE or ask a food safety question online at askkaren.gov.
And don't forget to tune in to this week's Living Show tonight at 6:30 p.m., Thursday morning at 9, and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings at 6:30 p.m. This week's guests include Belle Royton from Partners for Healing, who will announce new, more inclusive eligibility requirements for free health care in Tullahoma. Tullahoma Mayor Lane Curley will stop by and wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. And the Tullahoma Fire Department is collecting toys for tots. And we'll hear how you can help or be helped by local firemen. All that and more on this week's Living.
We'll be right back in a moment with your weather forecast.
The Kia Summers on Us sales event is going on right now at Russell Barnett Kia of Tullahoma. Let me tell you about this event. Purchase a new Kia Sedona, Kia Optima, Kia Forte, and receive 0% financing up to 66 months and your first 3 payments for free. For a limited time only, no strings attached. With America's best warranty, the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, Kia is the power to surprise. The Kia Summers on Us sales event going on right now. Why buy anywhere else?
At the time, maybe you were just building a bridge, a business, or a community. Maybe you were simply working for a home or a better tomorrow. At the time, you served out of duty and love of country. But in that time, we see a legacy created, an American dream lived. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1931 at 75 degrees. The record low was in 1970 at 9 degrees. Average high on this day is 56 and the average low is 34. Tonight, look for cloudy weather with a low of around 36. Partly cloudy weather expected on Wednesday with a high of 61 and a low of 44, and partly cloudy weather continuing in your forecast for Thursday with a high of 64 and a low of 52. And that's our Newsleader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for Newsleader on 6. You have a good evening.
Have a great evening.